kind of hard to believe. It's been nearly 5 months since James Harden forced his way out of Philadelphia, and tonight he makes his return to his old stomping grounds to kick off our ESPN doubleheader. Our reporter Tim Bontemps joins us now from Philadelphia. And Tim, if there is one thing that I know about Philadelphia fans is that they are so warm, fuzzy, and loving when a former player comes back into Wells Fargo Center. I'm completely kidding, of course. What are the expectations that James Harden and the Clippers have for starting off this 4-game road trip?
Well, I'm sure it's going to be a festive atmosphere, as you pointed out, Malika, as it always is at the Wells Fargo Center here in South Philly. But I also think it's going to be kind of a weird vibe for this game, right? Obviously, there's going to be some emotion about James Harden coming back here to Philadelphia, where he's spent most of the last 2 seasons, resulting in a couple more second-round exits from the playoffs. But this is a matchup that just happened on Sunday in Los Angeles, where the Sixers came away with a big win. Every win without Joel Embiid right now is big. And this is also coming 5 months after the trade, so there's been a lot of time for sort of everything to settle in, for the departure to take place. There's also the fact that Joel Embiid is still not playing, and the Sixers are really just desperately trying to get out of the play-in mix in the Eastern Conference standings. And this isn't the kind of titanic battle between the Clippers and a team with a healthy Joel Embiid that we thought it might have been when the schedule came out. So all that's to say that I'm sure it will be a frosty reception for James Harden, but I don't anticipate this being anything like, for example, when Ben Simmons came back here a couple of years ago for the first time. Just don't think it's going to be that same level of animosity for all these reasons involved. It's just kind of a weird atmosphere and setting for this game to come so long after the trade happened.
Absolutely, well put. Let's dive into Joel Embiid a little bit more, because it's been about 7 weeks since his surgery, and there's only 10 games-ish left in the regular season. So where is he at in terms of his recovery?
Well, things have been in a bit of a stasis with Joel Embiid for a couple weeks now, Malika, where, as Nick Nurse said before the Sixers went on the West Coast trip, which Joel Embiid did not go on with the team, that he's on the court doing some working out, but has not been in any full contact situations, has not been in a full practice yet with the team. And so we're still in a bit of a holding pattern, where, as you said, there's 10 games left in the regular season. 3 weeks from today, we'll be talking about the play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference. Right now, Philadelphia is sitting in what will be a pretty juicy matchup in a 7-8 situation with the Miami Heat, with the winner of that game likely going on to play the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round, and the loser potentially having to win an 8-9 game just to get the right to play the team with the league's best record, the Boston Celtics, in the first round of the playoffs. But certainly the first order of business for Philly is to get Joel Embiid back on the court, and now that they're back around him for a couple of days, I think we'll get a little bit more of a sense of just how long it's going to take to get him back out there. But even if Embiid does get out on the court, Malik, I think it's safe to assume there's going to need some time for him to ramp himself up and get his conditioning back anywhere near where it was before, when he was leading the league at scoring for a 3rd straight year and playing at an MVP caliber level for the Sixers.
Well, as he continues to ramp up in the hopes of returning, we will continue to update everybody at home. Tim Bontemps, thank you so very much. Enjoy tonight's game. But as Tim knows all too well, even without Joel Embiid, do not count out the 76ers tonight. After all, they went into Los Angeles. They got a wire-to-wire win over the Clippers over the weekend, and Los Angeles followed that up with a blowout loss to Indiana, which caused Ty Lue, Kendrick Perkins, to label this team as soft.
He didn't lie.
So what do you need to see from Harden and the Clippers starting tonight?
Well, first of all, they need to get uncomfortable, right?
Theme of the day.
Yeah, because James Harden is too comfortable, and he's still auditioning, right? He's auditioning for this team. He wants a contract with this team. Well, this is the time of year going into the postseason where all eyes are on James Harden. And with Russell Westbrook coming back, I think Ty Lue has some leverage to have some competition within the locker room. A lot of people look at it as if it's a negative, when it's actually not. You actually love competition in the locker room because it holds guys accountable. And I wouldn't be surprised if James Harden doesn't elevate his game and pick his play up, that if Ty Lue wouldn't roll with Russell Westbrook a lot more as that point guard that they need to get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard going like they need to get going offensively.
Look, I don't care if this is a Harden return game. I don't care if they're playing the Washington Generals at Rucker Park. The Clippers have to win this game. This is a must-win game because they've got to stem the tide. They've got to start this road trip off on a bright spot. They got lucky last night that the Pelicans couldn't take advantage of the Thunder playing at home, and the Pelicans took a loss, and so the Clippers got back into fourth place. But they're still way too close to the play-in than they should be. They should be fighting to get out of the 4 seed into the 3 so they don't have to potentially face the Nuggets in the second round. Instead, they got to be looking in their rear view, looking how close they are to the play-in. And not only that, beyond just where the standings are, these recent losses that they've had are unacceptable. They got to get a win tonight. Forget about what happens with Harden. Forget about the crowd. They got to put together 48 minutes of quality basketball to build some momentum. They got way, way bigger goals than being the 4 seed or getting James Harden get-back game. They got to start turning it around now.
Well, and they're not the only ones included in that sentiment on our ESPN doubleheader tonight. First, you can catch James.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here. James Harden makes his return to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Will it be love, though, when he returns? I highly doubt it. Now, the reason being is the fact that if you were sleeping under a rock for the last 6-7 months, James Harden requested a trade, had some choice words for one Daryl Morey, who's the president of basketball operations for the Philadelphia 76ers, saying that he would not play for Daryl Morey. Now, this comes at a time where the Clippers are slipping since the All-Star game. They have been without Russell Westbrook for quite some time. They had him the last game, but they lost. They are 6-7, I think, in the last, 4 weeks maybe. So, can they actually pull this off in Philadelphia? And how will James Harden play? How will the fans react to seeing him in a different jersey? Now, we all know what happened with Ben Simmons. We all know every single time he goes to Philadelphia, makes his return as a Net, they boo the hell out of him. And I fully expect that tonight for the 76ers fans to boo the hell out of James Harden. It's just the way it is because the history of what happened. And, James Harden is a fabulous player. He just needs to get his rhythm back. He's not playing too well in the last couple of games, especially. But I think, like always, media always pounces on teams. If they're doing good, they love it. They are talking about it all the time. But at the end of the day, if they're doing bad, they pounce on the superstars, telling them what's going on, what the hell happened, yada, yada, yada. We all know this, right? So now we fully expect for a good matchup tonight. And, both teams are not where they want to be. But then again, Joel Embiid's return most likely will skyrocket, or I wouldn't say skyrocket, but he has to get his rhythm, conditioning and whatnot. But it comes at a good time because the playoffs are like 3 weeks away and the Philadelphia 76ers need that kind of boost because the way things are going now, they most likely in the first round probably would play if Boston maybe, or Milwaukee, or the Cavs, or New York. One of those 4, right? Most likely they'll play them. And if you got a healthy Joel Embiid, that's really something else. So how will the James Harden saga continue today in Philadelphia? How will the 76ers fans react? Tell me what you guys think about James Harden. And especially, how will the 76ers do in Joel Embiid's return? I know it's not going to happen instantaneously where he's going to be an immediate impact. You got to ramp up for the playoffs. You got to get your conditioning down. There's a lot of stuff he needs to do. But then again, a healthy Joel Embiid is a dangerous Joel Embiid. Leave a comment in the comment section and tell me what you guys think. This is Jag from Jaggy Sports.